All right. Good to see everybody. Welcome to our daily success call for Friday, October 1st. Yay. Fourth quarter. Woo.
Wow.
Yay. And now, since it's the first Friday of the month, Fun Friday becomes Formal Friday. So I am dressed appropriately, as some of you are. I see some people looking really spiffy here today. Let's see. Michael, of course, Michael, right? He's always
down here.
Good. Hello, Melody. I see a bunch of awesome people here. We've got Bambi and Patricia here. Missy, good to see you. Joe and Kelly are here. Of course, Ann and Jan with the cup. Crystal, good to see you. Chuckamaka, good to see you, my friend. Always a pleasure. Hey, everybody. We got lots of people tuning in here, more than I can fit on even two screens. So glad to see you all. Who's got a joke or something that we can start our Fun Friday with? Yeah? Who's that?
No, it was me going, yay. It was me showing enthusiasm.
Oh, well, good. Melanie, do you have a dog or a cat or maybe a joke you could tell? Something fun.
Not me.
No? How about Michael? We can usually count on Michael for something. Come on out, Michael.
I give a sick joke. Okay.
Hi.
So a bear and a rabbit are taking a poop in the woods.
Oh,
so the bear sees the rabbit and says, "Hey, does fur stick to you? Does poop stick to your fur?" And the rabbit goes, "No." So the bear wiped his butt with a rabbit.
There you go. Very good. And I saw a dog somewhere. Whoever's got the dog or the cat, make some noise here so we could see that cat or dog. I thought I saw one.
This is my dog. Her name's Patches, and she's demanding attention.
Hi, Patches. Good to see you. It's not the first time we've seen you, Patches. Glad you're here. All right. Anybody else?
I tried to get my cat, but she had a different thought.
Yeah, herding cats is hard. That's
I do that.
Yeah. It's kind of like chasing chickens.
Their knives.
Yeah, good times. All right, everybody. Well, I got a little something I want to bring up for you all today. If we want to get down to business, we're going to keep it light. It's Fun Friday. We're going to keep it light. But it is the 1st of October. So what does that mean? That means we've got 90 days to crush this to the end of the year. Fourth quarter is upon us. So what does that mean? Well, it can mean a bunch of things, but I think one thing that it means for everybody here in this room is that if there was ever an auspicious time to really turn up the heat, to make yourself known in the marketplace and to get products in the hands of happy buying customers, it is now. For our new members who are just getting started here, wow, your timing is amazing. For those of you who have been here for a little while, and a little while could be a couple of weeks, couple of months, well, you've got a little bit of a head start, right? But regardless of how long you've been here, as we look forward, wow, Melanie's got her screen share going again. Hold on, let me go ahead and kill that whole opportunity here. Screen share, poof, gone. Okay, good. So regardless of where you're starting at right now or how long you've been here, we can look forward to the next 90 days as a tremendous opportunity, not just, obviously here in the e-commerce world, but also in life, right? I mean, so here we are, 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through a very interesting year, and how we end it in any area of our life, whether we're talking about our business, obviously, our health and fitness goals, our relationships and different things that you're involved in with community or whatever you do outside of business. This is the time where people tend to get focused. Now, you can think of it like some of you are into sports. Me personally, I'm not so much, but I know that there are certain kinds of sports where there's quarters, right? And, the fourth quarter, and then suddenly everybody's, very intent on making those final goals or, taking that shot, right? Getting that done because, hey, time's running out. The question that comes up for me a lot of times, just, as an observer of that sort of behavior is, well, why didn't they behave that way the whole time? Why didn't they come out of the gate on the first quarter with that level of intensity? But of course, it's one thing to talk about, being intense at sport or something. It's another thing to actually be on the field and do it. I know that from, my Krav Maga training, which is Israeli combat. It's all extreme, but I'm winded after a couple of minutes of, beating the crap out of a bag or something, right? That's pretty taxing. All right. So you have to have breaks too. But I think right now, with the fourth quarter upon us, right? It's here. It is definitely showtime. All right. So here's the consideration I have, and I just had this conversation with some awesome people, is that when we look at anything we intend to accomplish, so let's say with your business, you've got an intention of, let's say, a certain amount of income. Okay. And hopefully you do, because without intention, well, what are we doing here? Right. So hopefully you've got some goals, you've got some ideas. And those of you going through our accelerator process, we're working on that. Right. And ultimately we're going to get to a point where you're very specific about what you're doing and why you're doing it. Okay. So let's assume you have some specificity. You've got some knowingness about, here's what I want. Here's why I'm showing up here. Now let's look back. Let's look at the previous 3 quarters. Okay. In fact, we can go back as far as you want. Okay. Let's look at anything in your life where you've ever succeeded at fulfilling an intention. What was involved in that? What things we could say, just based on principle, what things occurred or that were observable in the accomplishment of this goal, this intention, and now looking forward that we could apply with full expectation to whatever intention you're looking to fulfill for the next 90 days. And I would tell you that in anything that I've ever done where I've fulfilled intention, where I have succeeded, where I have hit the mark, always there has been movement. In other words, it wasn't a static thing. It was a dynamic thing. It was me taking action. It was effort. It was movement of some sort. And that could be movement of money, resources, physical effort, whatever it took. Movement occurred. And the other thing that we could observe that was also involved every single time was orderliness. In other words, orderly movement, not random movement, not a bunch of guesswork, not I'll try or whatever. And I know Patricia and I have had this conversation about the word try, right? What does that mean? Well, that means that we're not quite sure, right? We're lacking certainty. In my book study group that I do with my mastermind, we're reading this book called Wake Up and Live by Dorothea Brand. Some of you are in on that conversation. This is not one of the books that I recommended, for our new members, because it's a bit more intense. There's a lot to confront there. But one of the things that she talks about, in fact, the main thing that she talks about in chapter 5, which is the one-line philosophy that changed her life. She was an author, obviously, but in the publishing and that whole editing and publishing world with books, novels, and things. And she was floundering. Okay, but her whole life and career turned around with one line, and the line is: act as though it were impossible to fail. Act as though it were impossible to fail. So where's the trying in there? Is she going to try? Are you going to try? Right? No. So we're acting as though it were impossible to fail. So if we look at anything we've been successful at, okay, we can, in hindsight, right, we can see, oh, I took those actions and I created order in those actions and in my planning of or execution of those actions, right? And so if I'm truly intending and expecting to accomplish something even greater in this fourth quarter, well, why don't I be deliberate about that rather than the whole try thing, right? Why don't I just go and head and create some order right now, create some order, because right now you've got the blessing of time, which you're going to spend. You don't get to keep it, right? So 90 days from now, all of us are going to be done with the fourth quarter, or 91 and a half days, or however long it's left, right? So how are we going to optimize that next 90 days? How are we going to create order in whatever actions, whatever movements we're going to make? And so to do this, we can use this very handy thing called a calendar. And the calendar is actually what told us that it's fourth quarter today. So thank you, Mr. Calendar. So now it's presenting us an opportunity. Mr. Calendar is saying, well, here's 90 little spots here, and you can do whatever you want. or not, right? Or you could just succumb to what everybody else thinks you should do, or you could just try or have random efforts that may or may not bear fruit, right? And cast your seeds into the wind and whatever. You can do whatever you want. How about we get deliberate about that? So knowing that all success is based on orderly movement, let's create some order, not only on our calendar, but also in our mind. Because I could tell you that when I could see stuff on my calendar, like the fact that I actually have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people I'm meeting with today with business launch sessions, right? So, and if that wasn't on my calendar, I wouldn't know it. It doesn't exist. See, I've got a lot of different things that impinge on my thinking, right? So it's much better for me to have it there that I could objectively look at it. And now I'm not so damn confused. Oh, I'm going to try and show up. No, I'm not going to try and show up. No, right? So in fact, we talked, was it a day or two ago? We talked about developing our strengths and managing our weaknesses, right? Was that in this group? I think I had that conversation with you. If not, we should. But I'll tell you one thing that wasn't always a strength, but now it definitely is for me. I'm just speaking for myself. Is showing up, doing what I said I was going to do. In fact, I got really, really good at that. And then I wrote a whole book about it. Integrity is everything. Just do what you say you're going to do, right? Apply these principles. Okay, cool. So I'm going to show up because I know what to do. There's no try in there. I know what to do. So when we think about order, we're not talking about any degree of indecision, right? When we hear things like I'll try, we're hearing indecision. I'm not sure that I will. Okay. There's do or do not, as Yoda said, right? So indecision is the constant and chronic enemy of people who do not accomplish that which they seek, that which they intend lightly. Okay. They are not applying the idea that Dorothea Brand reminded me of, which is act as though it were impossible to fail. I want you to think about this. It's 90 days from now, and you've accomplished your goal, your target income, your experience, right? You've got the result. It's too late to fail. You've already got it. Okay, so think like that for a minute. Okay, and then to whatever degree you can, and you could do this every day. In fact, you can do it more and more every day. Is kind of get into the emotional state of having accomplished that which you intend. Okay, now as that person who knows that that's the guaranteed future outcome, now take action. Okay, so we've created order in our mind and in our calendar. We've reinforced that with emotional expectancy, and then we just act with a bit of certainty, confidence, flippancy, right? I know I'm going to succeed, right? So now how much are we encumbered with all these considerations, right? Which are the component parts of indecision, right? Considerations, not action, not decision. Okay. Just endless considerations. So if we can go ahead and sidestep all that and just be like, you know what, I'm going to get a result, and you will. It's impossible to fail. You're going to get a result, maybe a great one, maybe less than great, maybe 10 times better than what you had originally intended. I don't know. Neither do you. You don't have a crystal ball. But I could tell you this, none of that happens without orderly movement. So then what's our job here? Here we are. It is the first. Our job is to create order, again, in our mind and in any aids that you can use, any tools like a calendar, clocks, alarms, reminders, dream board, deliberately chosen inputs, right? And deliberately set up, gates around your mindset and all the other inputs that, the rest of the world thinks that you should be spending your time and attention on because you never get it back, right? We can be very deliberate. This has been called a 90-day blitz, in fact. So you can have this sort of, idea about it. Back to the sports metaphor, right? What is a blitz? That's when it's a big rush and a major effort all at once, right? And again, I'm not a sports guy, so I'm sure people can get more technical about that than I can. But the idea of maximum throttle for a predetermined, period of time or a specific outcome, right? So we could say this could be like a 90-day blitz. That doesn't mean you're never going to take a break. That doesn't mean you're not going to smell the roses. That just means that you're going to be extremely intentional, not stressed out. That's not what I said. Okay. Act as though it were impossible to fail. Flippant, going at warp speed, but cool as a cucumber. Why? Because you're not encumbering yourself with all the considerations and all the indecisions. Should I, shouldn't I don't know. I'll try. Oh my goodness. Stop. Right? And do. It sounds simple. And it is. I mean, ostensibly, it's simple. I'm not giving you any highbrow, philosophy or esoteric, thesis on, whatever. I'm just giving you like, here's what you could do. All right. Well, then do that. But easier said than done if we've been in the habit of encumbering ourselves with never ending considerations and indecision. The calendar decided that it's the fourth quarter. You didn't get to participate in that decision. That one's already been made. And we could sit around and we can bemoan or argue or whatever, and then it'll be tomorrow, and then you'll have 89 days or 90 and a half or whatever. Or we could just get on with it. I think we get on with it. And we're all going to be 90 days older in 90 days anyway. And what if you miss your goal? What if you, let me rephrase that, because we hit every goal we set. Okay. But what if you miss your target? Because there's targets within goals. Okay. I've missed lots of targets. Okay. But would you have been better off never having made the effort, not moving? Is that the answer? Don't move, sit there and think. Okay. We solve problems and we achieve targets and goals, right? Via movement. All of your answers come via your action, not theorizing. And I'm saying this to me, right? You guys get to listen in. This is for me to hear, right? Because I got a lot of theories rolling around in my brain. I've got, 3.5 decades of studying philosophy and psychology and, what allegedly works and what doesn't. But to actually put that stuff to use, there it is right there. Think about it like this. We've covered a lot of topics here in this group. And again, if you're brand new, you can go back and listen to replays and do what you like. You can listen to me talk ad infinitum. I got lots of stuff that we talk about. But look, as long as we are consuming, think of it like this, right? Let's say you're reading a book, and please do. Okay. There's a time to consume. But as long as we're consuming, we are what? The cause or the effect? We're the effect of what the author thinks. What we've got to do is turn that flow around. That's where our action comes in. Okay. So as long as I'm consuming ideas, theory, instructions, whatever, right, I'm the effect. But as soon as I turn that flow around and now I'm taking action, yes, I'm causing orderly movement. Now I've become cause. And I think for a lot of people who watch time slip by, and next thing you know, it's 2022. And next thing you know, you're add another digit to your age or whatever, right? So for those people, it is a state of indecision. It is not cause. It is effect. Keep waiting for some other, omen or something to tell you now is the time. So here's my question for you all. When would now be a good time to do this? You heard the answer. I embedded it in the question. That's John the salesman in there for you, right? When would now be a good time to get started? Oh, now? Okay, well then let's do it now. Clock's ticking, my friends. Okay, have fun with this. Again, not, oh my goodness, oh, I was so stressed. No, relax and then go at warp speed. Warp speed. I love you guys. Any thoughts on this? Feel free to come out. Floor's open. I'd love to hear from Michael. Hi, Michael. How are you again?
I'm good again. I'm coming out. Oh, can you hear me okay? Hold on.
No. Sounds like your microphone's across the room.
How's that?
That's a million times better. Yeah.
Okay, I would say I'm coming out like you said. So I recognized we were talking about how we have to be focused and how we have to start now and that kind of thing. Well, yesterday I put in like so many hours, and I got on a call with Heather, and I said, I don't understand what's going on. Like I seem to be running like 60 miles an hour, but I'm only like going 10. Well, once we identified, there was a lot of stuff I didn't need to do. That it was just not, it was just extra stuff that was chaff. I think, and I was getting bogged down by all these steps and procedures and that kind of thing. And she says, you know what? I did the exact same thing. And she listed all these things. I'm like, that's exactly what I was doing. She says, yeah, I know, because I did that. So it is so great to have people who have kind of blazed the trail through the swamp first, kind of thing, to kind of give us some way through the reeds. And their experience can, once you've done it, you're like, I'm just bogged down, where they go, well, actually, let's do this. And so you can glean from their experiences so that your now becomes a lot more effective. Because I've been saying now for 3 months, and I've made some really great gains. It's just that this one area with Etsy seems to be just slowing me right down to a crawl. And now that I've spoken with her, it made things so much easier. And again, having those aha moments and those connections with mentors, if you will, has been amazing. And I would encourage anybody, it doesn't matter who you need to reach out to, talk to. If you're kind of stuck or find that you're not getting the progress you need, talk to somebody who's been there. Like we were talking to Jan and Missy and Scott and some of these others that were saying, listen, I know this because I've been there, and now I can look back because it's behind me. So if I can help you guys, come, I'm blazing the trail. If you can come in the wake, then I'd rather have you be in the wake than on the side in the shore type thing. And it's really been beneficial. It's been amazing. So I'm now thinking that my metrics will be a lot easier to hit, and with far less effort.
Good. Glad you're here, brother, and glad to see you
Thank you.
making progress. Yeah, we are expecting big things from you. Let's go.
I would deliver.
All right, let's go to Denise and then Patricia. Hey, Denise, what's going on?
Hi.
Hey,
Hey. Today is a I don't want to be seen day.
I see
I have
that.
a migraine, so I'm lying in bed actually.
Uh-huh.
I get them. So I have been completely overwhelmed. I mean, like by the end of the day, I am just in tears because I have so much to do. And I signed up for this thing called Podomatic. I don't know if other people know what it is. And so every day in Amazon, I get like 50 new products. And then I'm trying to do all of my own new products a day. And my goal is 10 a day, even though they say do 5 a day. My goal is 10 a day. And I am so overwhelmed because I had a appointment with Heather also. And we went over my titles for my items. And so there's several of them that I'm trying to change. And my pictures too. I'm trying to change my pictures. And so I'm so overwhelmed. I have so much to do. And then I told my husband last night, I said, I just need to hire someone to help me. I just need to find someone to help me because he doesn't have time to help me. He has his own business and he's works till 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find someone, either a virtual assistant or a little college student that lives around here to help me for now, at least until the end of the year, so that I am not so overwhelmed. So today I'm taking a break after this call. I'm going to go on my little 8-mile hike and just have a great day and take a break today. So I've got it all written down last night. I sat down and wrote down my schedule and my plan, what I'm going to do with help. So I'm not totally overwhelmed.
Wow.
And Michael, it would be really great, Michael, if you could share what it was that you learned from Heather that you were doing too much of, so that maybe it could help other people realize that if they're doing the same thing, maybe they don't have to do it also. Anyway, That's all.
Good stuff. Thank you, Denise. And hope your headache is soon gone.
Me
You're
too.
awesome. Yeah, I'm so glad
Thanks.
you're here with us. And
Thanks, John.
Sunday, I'm gonna meet you in person.
I
Are
know.
you going to?
I'm
You
so
doing the Vegas?
excited.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right. I'll see you
I'll be
there.
there. I'll
Very
be there.
good. Let's go to my friend Patricia Street, who aims to please, and then Colleen. Hi, Patricia.
Hi, y'all. How's everybody? Well, between John and Michael, I think I just had an epiphany. So I thought I would share it with y'all. I sit back all the time and people tell me that I'm too stressed out. And I'm like, no, I'm not stressed. I'm doing what I gotta do, you know, and I guess I just act stressed. But then I think about it and I think, well, yeah, my heart rate's elevated. I've got a headache. I'm blah, blah, blah. So I guess I am a little stressed out. Why am I stressed out? Well, because I'm doing a whole bunch of crap I don't need to be doing. I'm adding too many things into it when I could just break it down into simple little things, do those simple things, and then add the other junk in there when needed. Okay, so that sounds good. So then I think about, and this is while I was thinking while y'all were talking all this stuff. Well, so after I do that, you get rid of all the junk, right? So let's see, go back up, intentional, extremely intentional. John, you said, don't be stressed out, be extremely intentional. Well, okay, so that goes back down to get rid of all the junk and do exactly what's necessary to do. Okay, so then if you don't, and then the main thing is don't fuss, don't bemoan, don't bitch about it, just get on with it. And that's what I do a lot too, is instead of doing too much, I sit there and I think about, why can't I think? Why are things not working? Why am it's supposed to be doing this? I read this, I know how to do, and I sit there and I contemplate with myself for hours, which is basically stressing me more out because I've lost a whole lot of time. So what do I do there? I just need to get on with it.
Mhm.
And I need to remember that what you said, John, was if I'm doing this stuff, I know I'm doing it. I know how to do it. And it took me back to when I was in flight school. And the first time I went up, I was in a helicopter, and the instructor pilot said, okay, it's time for you to hover. And he gave me the controls, and I immediately tried to kill everybody by pointing the nose to the ground, and he had to grab them, bring them back up. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And I decided right then and there, I wasn't going to do that anymore. But I also realized that I know what I'm doing, and I need to believe in myself. So I need to remember that I can do this. I'm smart. Other people have done it. Why can't I? So therefore I can. I'm not going to sit here and contemplate life for hours upon hours. I'm going to actually do things. And I thought about all this because I started a lot of this last night. I was going through all these videos that we have to go through, which I'm not saying they're not necessary. They are very necessary. But I also felt like I was lagging behind, that I needed to be doing more things like starting accounts up. So that's what I started this morning. I said, I'm going to watch the videos, and I'm going to add the videos when necessary to what I've got to do. So today I started working on Gear Bubble and other things, and I got confused, and that's why they were giving me classes this morning. Thank y'all for all that. And so now I know where to go, and I'm going to, as soon as this is over with, I'm going to go and open my Etsy account. So then I've got all this going, and I don't feel like I'm behind because
That's great.
I'm getting rid of all the crap, basically.
Beautiful, Patricia. Well done
Thank
with your epiphany and for taking action on it. So glad you're
Well,
here, my friend.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It just,
You're awesome.
you get so much going on, and then you're like, why are things not working? And it's,
Oh, they are working.
I am the
but
reason.
You're getting them together, though. So congratulations again on your epiphany. Let's go to Colleen and then Galaxy S21, and then I'm going to have to roll. I've got a meeting I've got to get to. Colleen, how are you, my friend?
I'm pretty good. I'm alive. I've been
Yes.
fighting COVID for a month. So
Oh.
COVID pneumonia, actually. I'm going to make this really quick. I have a VA from the Philippines. She's $4 an hour. She knows how to use Canva and Gearbubble. And she's been working for me for a year, and she does everything I throw at her. She's constantly doing Excel sheets. So if anyone wants, I have been out of work for a month, so she's out of work. So she needs work if anyone wants to reach out to me about her and for her information.
Wow. And she knows some of this technology, right? So that's how advantageous. All right, everybody, hit Colleen, and I'm sure you're going to get a bunch of takers on that. Well done.
She works 24 hours, 7 days a week. She's a workaholic and she loves it. So, and
Wow.
her whole Filipino family is all behind her, ready to take on help too. So she's ready to go.
Beautiful. Thank you, Colleen. Good times. Good times. All right. Let's end off today with Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G. Who's that?
That's Debra Gilmore.
Hey,
How are you,
Deborah.
everyone?
Awesome.
Listen, I'm on my phone because I had to go to an appointment, but I wanted to ask, and I'm listening to everyone, and I'm wondering, when do you know you've hit the sweet spot? I know you have a plan, your business plan, everything else, but when do you get to the point, or you have noticed from other participants, they've hit the sweet spots where everything becomes automatic? Is that individualized, or is that just random, whoever to their plan? Or has anyone said, now I have it mechanized where I can feel that the system is going very nice now?
Mm-hmm. Well, Deborah, that I mean, you can look at statistics, right? This is how many sales are coming in and all that. And then, based on your targets, right, you could say, oh, wow, that's a pleasing result. But then as far as like everything's on automatic, and I don't know if you meant everything.
Not everything, but basically.
Right. But those things which have momentum can then be put into, more of an automatic state. And then you scale those things up while, inventing other things, other methods, other products. So it really is on a gradient, right? And I'm glad you asked this, because a lot of times all people look at is what they haven't accomplished yet. Like, here's the top of the mountain and you're not there.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think the trick is then to, as we already discussed, act as though it were impossible to fail, but also acknowledge the little wins along the way, because each one is what? A success, right? You just accomplished something. Patricia just got her account set up, right? And here's, other people with results, right? Denise the other day said she had 4 sales that came in and she didn't even know it, right? Well, now she knows it. Let's celebrate that, right? So every little win builds ourselves up to the point where we're that much more certain and confident moving forward into the higher, up that mountain. So I hope that, gives you some perspective. But yeah, this is kind of subjective. Like, what's your goal? I don't know. It's different than mine. So
yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, glad you're here, Deborah.
Yeah.
Wow. What a great way to start the month and to end the week, everybody. We are going to wrap up. I do have to run to a virtual meeting that starts in 2 minutes. I'm going to be back here with you on Monday. All right. And some of you I'm meeting with here today. So I'm really excited about that. Make it a great weekend and find where, even through the weekend, where you can accomplish some little thing like Deborah and I were just talking about, some little thing that you can check off. Right. And hopefully you can check it off because you can see it there on your calendar. And now that's another win. You can actually see yourself checking it off. I love you guys. Make it a great weekend.